currently we're getting some gusty weather and cloudy weather from potential tropical cyclone 10, which has still not been named yet. The reason for that is Harvey is still causing the wind shear, because you're having westerly wind shear. Storms going northeast, you're having strong west wind shear, which is still shearing apart the thunderstorms from the center. But once the wind shear becomes northeast, southeast to northwest, or southwest to northeast, actually, and same direction as the low is moving, it might have some thunderstorms that will form around the center. And as the system is expected to intensify into a tropical storm, or as the model is saying, it might actually briefly attain strong tropical storm status. It might become named briefly, or will it become extratropical as the lows deepen it? That remains to be seen. So if that system doesn't become Irma, the next Irma or the next system, Invest 93L, which the models have been hinting on for quite some time, and especially the GFS and the Euro, the Euro is even more on it now, and the National Hurricane Center has given the system a 50% chance of development for the next 2 days and a 70% for the next 5 days. However, it's still battling some dry air, and as we all have known, that 70% might actually drop briefly, might actually go down to 60, or maybe it'll increase. I don't know, but the system is actually further to the north, which actually means it's closer to the dry air. So here's the thing: the dry air right now, there's been a little lull in the Saharan air layer. And I believe the system will take advantage of that low in the SAL, but the SAL is still there. So there's still dry air, it's just not as dry. So the system definitely has a chance of development, especially when it reaches the central and western Atlantic. The system really might get cranking. And the GFS has been creating some pretty scary solutions, especially operational. Stalling right off the East Coast and then suddenly going out. All this is going to be because you're going to have a hurricane, a typhoon, going north from Japan into Siberia, and this could create a negative PNA or positive PNA, basically, which will create a trough over Alaska and a ridge on the east, and a ridge over Alaska and a trough on the East Coast. And if the trough becomes sharp enough or negatively inverted, Airbus A319. Actually, no, that's actually a Boeing 737. The wings. Anyway, that system, if the trough becomes negatively inverted enough, could be thrust into the East Coast. But if that model is completely wrong and there's no trough that develops, or it's not as deep, then here's what could happen. The system could be trapped in an area of high pressure off the coast of Florida. And when another area of low pressure approaches, the system might be tugged up along the East Coast. And that could create major problems. And imagine if it stalls over the Gulf Stream, where there's a lot of deep warm water and almost no upwelling of cooler water. That could be major. That could be really problematic. But the European has a worse solution than the GFS. Worse as in bad, like it could be very bad, because the GFS kind of has a system going out to sea with a weak high pressure to the north, while the European has a stronger high pressure and kind of has a range from southeast to northwest right into the East Coast. But it doesn't show a landfall, but it's the same, because at 240 it has a system just near the Bahamas, basically moving west-northwest, and then it's going to turn northwest. It basically shows a very close call with the East Coast. Whether direct landfall or not, it's still is showing a very close call. And this could be a very, very bad. Yeah, this thing definitely has the potential to cause a major disaster along the East Coast. The potential is there. The weather goes out to sea, like systems have done in the past in early September. Or will it take a path like Floyd or Earl, and go out to sea, or go up the coast like Irene and Floyd and cause major issues on the East Coast? That remains to be seen. So who knows? This system could definitely threaten the East Coast, and So I'm going to be very vigilant, and I will be constantly keeping you updated on this latest development. Thank you for watching.